Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories for you. Firstly, Sudan, viewers, where Tigray, Oromo, and Amhara fighters are joining a key phase of Sudanese civil war. Perhaps the decisive phase of this war is going to start in coming days. And in this phase, fighters from Ethiopia will play a key role, it seems. Secondly, was Donald Trump, US president led US government announced new tariffs a few hours ago. Ethiopia has been hit, two dozens of other countries targeted. Which countries have been targeted? What will be the impact of this imposition of tariffs on countries like Ethiopia? How much tariff imposed on exports from Ethiopia to the US? Let's have a look at this news story first, viewers. Donald Trump government last night announced tariffs on over 100 countries. However, these are reciprocal tariffs. It means the countries targeted by the US administration are charging tariffs on US products. US is reciprocating. That is what makes sense. Why would US not impose tariffs on those countries which have already imposed tariffs on US products? Uh, China, 34% tariff imposed. China has imposed tariffs on US products too, around 67%. Several countries hit. Vietnam, 46% tariff imposed. Cambodia, 49%. India, 26%. Pakistan also around 27%. Ethiopia, 10% tariff imposed on Ethiopian products. Ethiopia also charges tariff on products from the US, 10%. What will be the impact of this announcement of tariffs on Ethiopia US bilateral trade? US is not a key trade ally for Ethiopia, by the way. I think bilateral trade volume is over 1 billion. It's not the most significant trading partner, but it is a trading partner. 1 billion bilateral trade is not very small, but it isn't very huge either. Imports from the US in Ethiopia stand around 500 million. Exports around a billion. It means that Ethiopian imports now will have to face tariffs when they enter the US market. Ethiopian economy could be affected by it, but the impact won't be very huge. Eritrea, no tariffs imposed. There is no bilateral trade between Eritrea and the US. Other Eritrea has been undisturbed by the actions taken by Trump government. Eritrea has not been receiving US aid. That is why when US aid closed its projects in different countries of the world, Eritrea was not affected. The same is the case with imposition of tariffs by the Trump government. Eritrea not affected. Now, with Sudanese civil war, where a crucial phase of this war is going to start, and in this phase of the war, it seems that fighters from Ethiopia will play a key role. This is what is being reported by Sudanese sources, Sudanese human rights sources as well. Al-Burhan led Sudanese military has recaptured Khartoum, the capital. Presidential palace, Khartoum airport back under military control. RSF withdrawn from Khartoum. RSF fighters are going to make a push towards Khartoum through northern state again. That is why they are building up their military presence in northern state, in the deserts of northern state from Darfur. Northern state shares border with Darfur. So from Darfur, they're going to push into northern state. And from there, you can easily move towards Khartoum, Bari, Darman. You can move into River Nile state too from northern state. So northern state is going to be the main battleground now in coming days. Sudan military will try to make a push into Darfur, maybe through Kordofan. While RSF will try to make a push towards Khartoum through northern state. Sudan military led by Al-Burhan is relocating Ethiopian fighters towards northern state and towards Nile River states, both situated to the north of Khartoum. Hundreds of vehicles have been seen on their way from Blue Nile and Sinnar states, which are situated in southern Sudan, sharing border with Ethiopia. Hundreds of vehicles carrying Ethiopian fighters have been seen heading from Sinnar, from Blue Nile states towards Khartoum. They have crossed Khartoum and now they're entering northern state and River Nile states of Sudan to stop RSF's push into these states. Which Ethiopian fighters are participating in this major offensive, counter-offensive, you can say. And by the way, a military could try to push into Darfur too from northern state. So northern state, Darfur, Kordofan going to be key battlegrounds in coming days. Fighters are from Tigray, from Oromia, from Amhara, reportedly. Ola fighters, Tigray fighters, some Amhara fighters, Kemats, all are there reportedly. They're being paid, obviously. Is the involvement on official level, is Ethiopian government backing this involvement? No, because these fighters are fighting on Sudan military side against RSF. So Ethiopian military is not involved. Ethiopian military backed fighters are involved on RSF side. They have been found they are working as snipers. So maybe they were deployed by Ethiopian government, maybe, to support RSF. But these fighters heading towards River Nile and northern states of Sudan from Blue Nile and Sinnar states are opposition fighters. Opposition Ethiopian fighters, you can say. They are supporting Sudanese military. Al-Burhan government, Al-Burhan military was supported by coalition forces. Coalition forces of Mini Minawi, Jibril Ibrahim, and other leaders. These leaders have developed some differences, especially Mini Minawi with Al-Burhan government. Al-Burhan government is now relying on support from countries, not countries, but from groups from Ethiopia. Maybe Eritrea as well. Eritrea is also supporting Al-Burhan government, interestingly. Eritrea trained Sudanese fighters are fighting on front lines. Eritrea could deploy its fighters too on the ground, but so far its support is in the form of training, arming of Sudanese groups supporting Al-Burhan government. Eritrean government and Ethiopian opposition groups, they are supporting Al-Burhan's push for a final war, you can say, against the Rapid Support Force. If somehow Al-Burhan retakes Darfur or repels RSF's offensive towards Khartoum and consolidates his control of Sudan, these Ethiopian opposition groups and government could use Sudanese government in the future against Ethiopian government of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. Especially Tigray will need Sudanese military support if it tried to make a push militarily into Wolkayth in future. And if the issue of Wolkayth is unsolved and Tigray in the end decides to march militarily towards Wolkayth, then these Tigray fighters operating on Sudan will be of significance, and they could get support from Sudanese military. Let's see what happens in this major uh, collision between RSF and Sudanese military going to start in coming days. Fighting still ongoing, by the way. Sudanese Air Force is conducting strikes on Darfur. But main phase of this war, one of the main phase is going to start in coming days, I think. In which in this phase, Ethiopian fighters will play a key role. Thanks for watching.